Going live here, so um
Yay.
got it. Oh, I was supposed to say got it. Can't record on the Good morning. I am higher vibrations and so are you. And oopsies, there we go. Get rid of that noise in the background. Um, I want to say welcome to my beautiful friend Stacey. She's here joining us from England on this amazing and awesome day. Hey, Carmen's first. Carmen, I'm so happy to see you, brother.
Hey,
Um,
Carmen.
there's a lot happening today. I don't know if all you all know what today is, but it's the 1111 day. And the math works out to be that it's 11 again. And so there's just a lot of cool code and things to discuss. So before we get into that, I just want to say good morning to everybody and hello, Stacey. How are you?
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, sweetie. I'm I could lie and say I'm really good. I am good and yeah, riding it as always. So it'll be interesting to get into this and see what's going to be brought forward. But yeah, it's not as I expected. Let's just put it that way.
Will you elaborate? Because I think that a lot of people there's a lot of contrasting experiences right now. And so for you
Hmm.
to discuss this is really useful.
Well, I was super excited, and I still am. It's not that there's a downer on it or anything, but I was expecting, and that's the problem, right? Expecting the expectation of what you think is going to happen.
Mm,
I did have a expectation of how these energies were going to play out, and it's not been anything like I could imagine. At first, it was weird, um, kind of strange because I've not entered these energies before.
mhm,
Um, yeah, kind of breathtaking. Um, and simultaneously, I've gone back into what would be determined as the hermiting stage, um, being told to rest and restore, and try and rejuvenate in some way, which I thought I had.
mhm.
And within the past week, it's not been that way at all. I've been completely drained and unmotivated, but at the same time, I've had tasks at hand that needed to be performed. So I've had to utilize energy and actually make space for the tasks that I needed to do. So to be able to put the effort in there. And then once those tasks have been performed, that was it. I've been flat out.
Right.
And my normal means of finding energy in coffee and eating somewhat clean food and drinking, I'm having difficulty doing that too. Finding that none of the normal things that I would use in order to boost my natural energy resources are not working. And then it would be sleep. And then I found that I couldn't even do that. The time when, you've spoken about this a lot previously, you're exhausted throughout the entire day. And then
Mhm.
when it gets to the pinnacle of being able to actually go to sleep, you're all of a sudden wide awake and not able to go to sleep. And then when you actually are asleep, the dreams are so vivid and so real that you wake up exhausted again. So I've just been going on this cycle for the entire week. So I'm
Yeah.
here. I'm here and I'm with you guys. And it's phenomenal. The energy isn't what I've known before. It is a completely different energy. And it's just feeling into that and trying to figure out where we are now.
Yeah. Yeah. And where are we now? We're it feels like we finally set toe on this energy that we've been trying to reach to
Mm-hmm.
from this bridge space, like and there's uncertainty and also most of us um forget how much effort or not even effort, but just energy that we've put into getting to this point that like it's on any travel, like you could be hiking and having a great time and enjoying yourself and its play the whole time. However, once you get to your stopping point, there's not really a destination in this story, I don't think exactly. Um, is that you don't, even though you're having so much fun and you don't realize often that you're tired. You
Mm-hmm.
just exerted a lot of energy, and as we've played through this as well, playing is easier to do, though in those instances we also not don't always notice that when you're jumping versus walking,
Mm-hmm.
you exert more energy. And so a lot of us are, I would say that my experience is a little bit contrasted to, I don't know if it's my internet or Stacey's, because I've been having some struggles with my internet. But if I go out, please let me know if anybody's
It's
um
normally me.
yeah, it's been weird. All technology. We're also only joining on YouTube today and not Facebook. So I put a link in the Facebook on my Facebook channel for anybody that can join from that. It's just what we're doing right now. Yesterday I was on with Charmony, and I was delayed the entire conversation. It was so bizarre. I was trying to
Whoa.
show her like the breath in, and
Uh-huh.
my hand was 3 seconds behind, so I couldn't point. And Sarah says it's doing okay for both of us so far. Okay, good. And we have people here, so let's say hello to everybody real quick. Hello, thank you all for coming. A lot of people are resonating with what you're saying, Stacey. Um, we've been having a lot of contrasting experience on this end of the planet. I happen to be on a place where I think it's because of where I am.
Mhm.
I don't know though. Where I'm living right now is it's on the roots of this crystal mountain. So we have like this quartz bedrock that I live on. And like at first it was unsettling because I was like, couldn't feel any of the energy because I'm used to such an extreme of all these energies. And these energies here are just constantly being cleared, and so it's much more subtle here.
Mhm.
Like the energies are beautiful. Um, and as a result, for me, I'm the other side of I'm jumping up out of bed, woohoo, and like just charge energy, and like other people that live around here too. I was talking to Jasmine earlier, and the her husband and son were singing separate places, and just happy in the morning, and like starting the day in this beautiful place, and excited. And then other people, I'll I'll post it on Facebook and mentioned how woohoo it is, and a lot of individuals are having what you're talking about, Stacey.
Mhm.
It's just this, it feels like the water's thick. It's hard to walk through it. It just extra effort, extra weight. I had that when I first came here.
Mhm.
First the that for me was the 1212 portal, and but I'm what they call a pre-waiver. I experience things ahead of,
Before.
yeah.
So yeah, the what you're discussing now, like not feeling the energy. So although I'm going through this emotional thing, I can't feel into what it is.
Mm,
That silence, so that there's nothing. I'm not used to that. I'm used to feeling something. But what I am noticing, it's more within my physical self,
yeah.
more emotional, like heavy emotions, like a lot of sadness and fear and all of those things I know don't belong to me. And I don't feel it just belongs to individuals. And like we were discussing before, it felt like something was leaving. It was like the grief of these things leaving, but it's like the wave of them going through,
Mhm.
they pass through. And yeah, dude, it's my
Yeah.
physical body has been absorbing all of this.
Yeah. Yeah. And Janet just said yes, sludge. That's a good example. Oh, and Carmen says, hi, Stacy.
Hi, Carmen. You've been hiding.
Yeah. Happy to have him come out of hiding. Um, so the example, if you look at it energetically, it looks just like mud.
Mhm.
An example, I would say like mud because it has this dripping off that's happening. Like we call it density.
Mhm.
I don't really, a lot of the words don't resonate anymore, but we're moving into this telepathic world where a lot of the words that We've been, and I've been
Hmm.
saying this for some time, but it's more these days than I mean, it's more every day than
Hmm.
it was the day before, I would say. Density being that like, so it's just like a shaking off. And so we're kind of noticing ourselves pulling out of this muddy experience. And as we do, we first notice that it's harder to move, that we notice we're encumbered by it before we make a decision or to choose to no longer participate. And whatever that is,
Hmm.
and like it's something that um I think that all of us experience on some level. What is so impactful and important about the energy of today, about how the numbers are aligning today? It's not just that it's the ones. Today, as Stacy was the one that brought up for me, was it's also Thor's Day. That's where Thursday, the word Thursday came from, was Thor's Day. Thor is Odin's son, and the ones is Odin Day. And so we're in this Odin Day.
Awesome.
And this is the thing that is the craziest part for me is I thought it was on a personal level, because we always get our downloads and we think it's only about us. Um, but what it is we the beginning, so November 1st, 11 was one side of that corridor. It was the end of the eclipses corridor and the beginning of this a new corridor. And the a new corridor, the like Elsa writes, the anew, it's this is the other side of it.
Hmm.
And we had a false start one on the first, but that's, we also had an echo of the experience from the 1st of November. A lot of people had on the 11th of November,
Hmm.
so it's just this thing. So here we are today. We're now in this place. And I have been told by other sources too, based on how the calendar has been worked and stuff like that, we had a 13th month and all this, is that technically January 1st would be today. And if you celebrated New Year on January 1st, which it's the beginning of spring, this
Hmm.
would then be actually the beginning of November, and so there's just a lot that's coming forward about this, and a lot of us are working on something that we don't work isn't the word too. When we
Hmm.
feel like we're working, that's when we're actually out of what we're meant to play,
Hmm.
whatever play means for you, right? And so anyway, that was a little bit of a ramble, but a lot going on. It's just amazing, and so today is also a new moon day. Some people call it the
Hmm.
dark moon, and this is a day that I always celebrate anyway. I celebrate it with ceremony of today is a day where we choose to uh, decide what we want for the full moon, right? So my friend here, Stacy, is much more versed in this. So if you want to talk about that for a little bit or anything you'd like.
Yeah, just I know, like you said, it's a day of planting seeds, so what you desire to come round for the full moon, it's Capricorn, right? Today is the new moon in Capricorn, if I'm right.
I don't know.
I think it is Capricorn. Please
Someone will
someone
tell
correct
us.
me if I'm wrong. Yes.
We got some awesome people here. I see everybody. Hello.
Hi. So yeah, so today would be planting of the seeds for the seeds that you would like to be cultivated in the full moon of Capricorn. So by the time that part of the year comes, I think it's in about 6 months. So any seeds of intention, or literal seeds, putting your intention into actual literal seeds and planting them with I that was what I was doing today. I was in ritual today. That was part of my play. So that was me putting intention into a seed and drawing forth all the things that I would like to see brought into fruition within the next full moon. So yeah, today knowing how strong today is, and like I said, I've not known a full moon, a new moon like it. With this new energy that's coming with this, I kind of know when the new moon is approaching. I do remember the little book that I showed you before. I normally have to run to that, and I generally sort of am off a couple of days. But this this new moon, I knew was coming. I could feel it. Excuse me. So I knew today was a very potent day.
Yeah.
to plant those seeds of intention. So yeah, that was a part of my play today. And as long as this whole day is gifted to us, I would definitely say use it to your advantage.
Right.
However you're feeling, um, put those beautiful positive seeds of intention out there, be them physical or from your heart of gratitude, because this was the topic of conversation, right? We're in an era of gratitude right now. And I am super grateful to be in this moment, knowing how phenomenal all these things, the first day of this month, this brought through so much. And knowing how the lunar cycles of this year is really, really going to benefit us. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm super excited. Did you do
Hmm.
something today?
All day today.
Nice.
Yeah. Woke up dancing. It was,
Oh.
yeah, it's been an amazing day. And dude, the animals are crazy. Whoa, all of the animals need to be on me. Like and there's like 12 hens and two roosters and two kittens and five cats and two dogs and like they're all trying to be on me. It's like and like right now, right, so I have a window right behind where this screen is, where my computer is, and the cats are trying to come in, and you can hear them on the door over here. I had to close the door so the animals would just like. I actually got kicked off of on Facebook. There's a group called Sology that I was a member of, and
Hmm.
I was doing something. I was looking at something on there. This was a couple of days ago, like a week ago maybe, but it started about then. And I was sitting down outside, and just as I had my thumb like I was going to do something on my phone, two chickens jumped in my lap. Two chickens, and it actually made me leave the group. Now I'm like a new member again. Anyway, but like it's this
Chicken.
whole, but they're getting on me. And the activity, that's what I've been noticing the most, is that the everybody's just drawn right into my, like, your bubble's way out here. I'm talking about they want to be like touch, touch, it's like, I love you over there.
Give me some space.
But it's good, So like I woke up dancing and I was dancing, making my daughter breakfast. She eats breakfast. Um and then I'm dancing outside and I
Oh,
just
that's
realized
awesome.
I'm in this place. And then what I really noticed about today was it feels a lot less people-y than normal.
Hmm.
Like it feels like we just came to a place where there's less inhabitants on this
Hmm.
planet. Like all of a sudden, it's like, where'd everybody go?
Hmm.
You know, it's
Yeah, I
not
can feel
eerie.
that. Hmm.
You feel it too.
Yeah, totally. I did say to you, I think it was yesterday, I went out and for some reason it was so quiet. And on my area is never, you know what my area is like, it's never quiet. And it was eerie. I found it eerie. I'm like, whoa, there's something deep going on with this. And it felt nice though, for someone that likes to go places where there's not so many people, it did feel really good.
Yeah.
But the energies, dude, that you're talking about, the animals, I'm not comparing my children to animals, just so I'm letting everyone know.
Just so you're clear.
Yeah. But dude, because they're the youngest one, the five youngest ones, they've been exerting some really high energy, like more than normal. And that's another reason why I've been so exhausted. Sorry.
Sorry.
My association with kids and animals. Yeah. But yeah, dude, their energy has been quite extreme and it's really strange. It's like what we were talking about with Maddie, how I've noticed that they've sort of grown up in the space of like no time at all. All of a sudden, the little people I knew, they're not little people anymore, but they've brought this new energy with them. So they've not only they've grown and then they've brought this impactful energy in. And I'm just like, what's going on? It's, dude, it's full on. It is full on. And it's not a frightening full on. Whatever it is, it's brand new. It's something that we haven't experienced before. it's like you said, there's echoes and traces
Two,
of
two.
what we once knew. T. And if we've been, like you said, work is not the right word, but we know what we're doing now. We do know what we're doing now. We're in a space where we have each other, which is awesome. Because before we used to have to struggle through this
Yeah,
by ourselves. We have each other and we're helping each other through this.
yeah,
And it's getting to the point where we're doing that so much. We have, bridged that we've caused the bridge,
yeah.
that the whole ladder effect. We've caused this ladder, and we're all helping one another to do this. So it's nothing to be afraid of. It's not scary energies. It's anew, as Elsa said so long ago, dude.
It's been a theme of every conversation since too.
Mm-hmm. And it's risen. And then yeah, dude, we hear it a lot, like we're here. And it is that we're here because just to say that I don't know what we're in right now, I don't know it. And to be we felt into these energies like this is like 2004, I was gonna say like 2024. So to be really noticing these energies for the past 4 years now, to know that this feels completely different.
Yeah,
We've been doing this on and off, on and off, on and off, like consistently. So you kind of know when
yeah,
and it's literally just feet on the ground, barefoot, hands in the air, just trying to get some, like an aerial, just trying to get some signals coming in of what's happening. And all I ever get is it's fine.
yeah,
It's doing what it's doing. And just at the moment, yeah, play whatever feels good to do it. But it's like rest and rejuvenation now. Even though we've just come into a new year, it's like the whole do resolutions, do this, do that, it should be fast pelting, it should be, but it's not. We're still in the encapsulation of winter. So we're still in that cocoon type stage of where like that's where the seeds of intentions are being planted. So we're in that dark space for things to be cultivated.
yeah,
So we're just learning how to come out of this era. So like you said, spring will be the beginning of the new year.
yeah, yeah.
Yes. That would be
And
so nice.
in this spring window, there's like three eclipses this year.
Whoa. I know, man.
Oh, we had an answer too. It's the Aquarian moon, I think. Okay, wait. So there's something about us going into Aquarius right now. I remember
Mm-hmm.
hearing that too, and that's an important thing that I didn't research, because that's what they said. We were going to go into Aquarius 3 times,
Mm-hmm.
and we went into Aquarius on my birthday, March 27th last year. And then if we're, I know we're going into Aquarius right now, and then we're going into Aquarius for 40 years or something like that, or for 20 years until, so that's something I know I don't get those things in my mind
I
enough to get
think
it
that's
right.
like the moon thing cycle, but no, I just checked. It is the Capricorn new moon. So anything that is planted in on today, guys. Seriously, if
Right.
you're into rituals and things, or even if you're not, just planting those beautiful seeds of intention. And in 6 months' time, when those things blossom in the new moon, I mean the full moon of Capricorn, holy camole,
Yeah.
holy camole, because today is so powerful, man. And it's because there's just so many things in this one day, and with all the other things that we've learned, and it's all sort of piled on top of each other. We've got all this magic
Yeah.
in one space in this one day. And that's why I've managed to scrape my shit together today. I was able to do so because of the excitement and knowing what today holds. So yeah, dude.
Something else too is that this is the longest window where nothing will be in retrograde. So
Really?
yeah, I just found that out. Like I
Whoa.
have this, I got all this stuff, and so I wrote it all down, and but it's in my bedroom, and I meant I need to write it so people can read it because it was scratched. It was just stuff coming in, But usually I
Hmm.
try to fact check my downloads. I'm not going to do
Hmm.
that anymore. I'm just going to say it. And if I'm
Hmm.
wrong, I don't care. Like I might be wrong. And like, so this is what I got though, is that this particular calendar year, we're getting more of these planetary type things than we typically do. There's a lot happening right now though. There's this because we're in this place where everything's nothing's in retrograde, everything's moving forward. It's action time. It's
Nice.
playtime. It's
Hmm.
okay to do this stuff. And just as you were saying, at the same time, we're in this cozy chrysalis stage of cocoon, hibernation, renew, rejuvenate. And at the so it's like I find it to be that I'm almost not quite arguing with myself, but I'm playing and unmotivated at the same time.
Hmm. And
And it's
it's
not like
okay to be like that. It's okay to do both. It's okay to just do something and go, oh, okay, I'm tired now. Oh, but I could do a little bit more and I'm tired now. It's okay to do both and not to feel guilty about it and not to have the pressure imposed that, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, if
right.
there's a supposed to anymore. So that makes sense. Dude, if I had the energy, I would play more. I would like to play more. I really would. But like I said, the ritual, that was playtime. Being outside with an animal, being inside with an animal, you know, sitting in play with your child or colouring in or whatever there is to do that doesn't exert too much energy. If
Yeah.
not capable, if you've got the energy, do it. you know, I was encouraging you to go on the trampoline the other day. I was going to go,
Yeah,
go bounce.
so pounds. My playing has really been about other like my I have a huge motivation to play on that tractor. Like now that I know how to drive that thing, I'm just like I'm gonna move some more stuff, and like it's just fun, and I really am E-I-E-I-O, like
That
that kind of
sounds like
stuff
a lot
is
of
real.
fun.
And just you know making a fool of yourself is what I was always taught growing up that that's what that was. And it's not, it's actually being in your oneness in this space. The oneness of the moment too is
Hmm.
that um we are moving from the trinity to the quadrinity. And I'm saying that because I just saw 44 people pop up. And so this is a download that my friend Jasmine got that I've been getting too. So I was kind of telling Stacey about this. Every time I look up in the sky, I'm seeing triangle. Like you're seeing all of this. And then all of a sudden lately, what's been happening is another star is just like appears. It's like you see the star and you're just like, why is that star there? That star wasn't normally there. But at the same time, there's like this like indigo-y color, like this like bluish purpley color that streaks in front of it. And so it makes it into this other shape that I don't remember what it's called. But it's like but so then my friend Jasmine had this download about it today. And I just want to show you guys. So a triangle would have these, many points, and everybody's at a different place. And so in the triangle state, some people might be at the tip, some people might be closer to this end, right? And then it starts to unfold. And this is that she actually drew this out on her phone to help us. So you can see that then when it unfolds, am I backwards or correct for you?
No, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, I'm backwards for me. Um, Anyway, so as it unfolds, if you're on this part, the acceleration of this opening into this quadrinity energy, it's going to be an accelerated motion to get to over here, right? It's like, whoa, neck breaker time. And
Hmm.
like, though, if you're more here, and I think some of us are actually pushing it open. Push is not even the right word, but helping it by being present for it, then it starts to open and unfold. And for some of us that are in that place, to make sure I didn't mute myself, some of us
Hmm.
are in that location. It's much more smooth of a transition. It wasn't getting there. It's just that it was more like it reminded me of that Monty Python Search of the Holy Grail movie where like ah, and they start over and they're running again. Ah, and it takes forever. This one guy takes forever to get to the people. That's what it feels like I've been doing. It's like because it's everything took so much more effort than it takes now, you know,
Hmm.
and when this now that this is opening up, that's why 3, 6, 9, 12, 4, 8, 12 is happening. We're getting to the 12 so we can get from the Trinity to the Quadrinity. And in this place, the forefathers, the forefathers, the four giants, the four directions, the four winds, the four
The four
corners,
corners.
you know, the four seasons, the four, we've been, these hints have been laid down for us throughout our nursery rhymes and different types of pop culture, and so, and oh, and also, I hope I don't slaughter your name, dear soul, but Ka Kajina, um, beautiful soul sent me a surprise donation of
Oh,
$8.88. And
oh.
I was and actually just before I came on too, Angie also sent me 10. So thank you for these donations. I want to say thank you and I appreciate very much. It was the eights is what triggered that too. It's like there's the eights again. There's the eights again. That I didn't realize eights in my name. I use eight all the time. I don't think about it. I'm thinking infinity. That's
Mm-hmm.
eight. Higher
Mm-hmm.
vibrate. I put an eight in the
The
brain.
eight.
Yeah.
Oh.
And like the solar that we're doing on in April it starts on 4/4 and ends on 4/8. Unless you get one of the tickets that you can be here longer. There's also that option. Um, it's just going and going and going. So the important and it's 2 2 3 3 right now. So the twos go into the four. Anyway, I just the reason to show this is to say that we're not leaving anything behind. This is showing us that we are just becoming more complete. So I have been um, writing or saying incorrectly that we are leaving the Trinity. And I said it again earlier, just a moment ago, I think, and going into the Quadrinity, when in fact, we're actually just becoming more complete
Mm-hmm.
into the Quadrinity that we already are. So we have um, 2, 3, 4 now. I need to stop looking. I'm not doing it on purpose. Um,
They're gonna keep jumping at you.
I know. So, why is this important? Is that we all know that we're in motion right now. And with being in motion, we're also pulling away from the need to hold on to emotion because
Mm-hmm.
that's energy in motion. It's meant to go. And so a lot of people are feeling right now, feeling hard, big,
Mm-hmm.
big, and it's coming up so it can go, and I would say that's really what's encumbering people the most is this sensation of sadness or depression or melancholy or these different types of unlovely, the ones that we don't look forward to the most kind of emotions. The answer to that is to feel them completely, to not push them away, to let them come in and to embrace it. And when I embrace it, it's actually it's orgasmic. It's a very euphoric sensation. And it's
Mm-hmm.
not because there's some morbid desire to feel gross. It's when we let it move through us, our body is relieved. It
Mm-hmm.
no longer has to be the warden to these prisoners of emotion.
And
So,
like you said, they're prisoners. They don't want to stay.
no,
The reason why they come up so often is because they're like, when are you going to release me? I keep going, notice me here, throw this at you again. You're not listening, I'll throw that at you again. When are you going to notice me? And when it does come up and you do, yeah, you just notice them. And then you realize, and once the release, you're like, why didn't I do that sooner?
yeah,
You know, just being in it was so much worse than letting it go, and I don't know, dude. Maybe it's the comfort of having those things, but it is time to let them go
yeah,
because they want to go, you
yeah,
know, they want to go, they don't want to stay. That's why they're completely in evidence. They're always there. And like you said, dude, I felt all of those. That's why I done the whole wave because it's like the contrast. Like 1 minute it's total fear, next minute is total sadness, next minute is total anxiety, total grief, total depression. They're all there and they do just want to float out. They do want to go, and it's good because it's lessons learned.
yeah,
And it's not easy to do.
Yeah.
It's not easy. If it's not something we're used to doing, it's not easy. But once done once, you think like it's not as complicated or as difficult
Yeah.
as I thought it was going to be. It can be let go of. And once you realize you can do these things, you do become a master of your own story.
Yeah.
You do become a master of your own emotions. And it's possible.
Yeah. Yeah.
It totally is, man.
Yeah. And allowing yourself, like you were saying, being kind and giving yourself grace,
Hmm.
giving yourself um the unconditional love that you afford all these other individuals, the kindness. So it's simple kindness, allowing yourself to not talk to self in a way that is diminishing because you need to take care of you. You
Hmm.
know, it's okay if you need to take a little bit more rest right now. In fact, it's encouraged. When we get these things, like some of the strongest or the most commonly reported symptoms right now have to do with headaches and neck or headaches that are related to the neck and shoulders, this like headache space. And every time that especially earlier on, for me, what I mean by earlier on is on purpose earlier, when I was finally doing it on purpose with intention.
Hmm.
um, I was getting the most incredible headaches, and that was guiding me to a place of I would close my eyes and my headache would go away. And that would be when I would get the most profound downloads,
Hmm.
and like I also, was enough in the world that I checked to be sure that I didn't have some kind of brain thing going on. But back then, I'm saying this because it's where we watch these waves come through. And right now it's there's a lot of headache stuff. Um, and when you close your eyes, if it goes away, most often that's you, your higher self, your guides calling you to just a moment of rest. So
Hmm.
you can rest your body and also receive what's being given. Something else that's a high occurrence right now, there's a lot more understanding that light teams are coming in and helping individuals. And that happens in a place of rest. So anyway, what I'm trying to show here is that when we open ourselves to receiving, we're not simply the one receiving the gift. What we do as a result of what we get in gives out to others as well, because now you're filling up your own cup, and you
Hmm.
automatically, just being in a higher frequency, are sending out this frequency to others. you know like when I'm having the best day ever is when the most is done. I don't even notice that I do it until like days later or even months later, and people will start telling me, "Remember when you did that thing or that time?" And I was just I let myself take a nap. I let
Yes.
people help me. I
Hmm.
didn't feel guilty about not doing the list of things I wanted to do that day. I didn't get down on myself because I hadn't produced this video that I still haven't done, which I need to do an Ascension Symptom video. And I used to let that bother me so much that, but you know what? Right now, this is what we're doing. And
Hmm.
being okay with that, all of a sudden I'm filled back up again. Now I have it to give. And now I can just give out whatever comes the most natural. The things that are planned don't always work out when we're in this frequency, but the spontaneous stuff does the most. And I think that's why we've been doing so much more lives rather than recorded videos, is that's in the spontaneity of the moment.
Hmm.
And where's the present? It's in the now,
Mm.
the moment.
100%. Yeah, dude, and that's really difficult because this whole programming situation is the fact that things go or run, excuse me, on these plans. And that is changing too. That is changing so much more right now because um
It's,
yeah, I'm not great anymore at the whole rigid structure of things.
mhm.
I'm really not. If I know that things need to get done. Like I said earlier, I knew some of my energy had to be used for specific tasks, but I knew I was able to carry out a task with the limited amount of energy that I had for that time. and it was like a juggle. You're like, I can either use this energy to put here, or I can use it to put, but this is the amount of energy I have to put on a task.
Yeah.
And then when I did that task, I wasn't down on myself for not being able to do any more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's my limitation for now. Maybe in 2 hours, I'll have more energy to do something else. But if I don't, that's okay too. There's tomorrow, or there's the following day.
Yeah.
There's never any pressure, any more pressure than what we put on ourselves to accomplish these things,
Mm-hmm.
and it doesn't need to be done. It's like I'll use the example of when people are racing to get to work in the car, or they're racing, 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 racing. There's like this continuous race to get somewhere. Um, it doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
It really doesn't matter.
Yeah.
If you're meant to be on time, you will be on time.
Yeah.
If that, if it will all just work as it's supposed to work, everything will work in order. And once I acknowledged that I wasn't fighting against something, that I was able, dude, the amount of things that just became so much easier
Mm-hmm.
by not putting pressure on me. It's the continuation of take your time. And by saying it in that manner, always allows me to slow down. And
Yeah.
then I take a breath. See, you took a breath.
I
I
did.
take,
I was like, I like that.
yeah, because you do, because you find yourself in this, gotta get, and generally, you don't get anywhere any faster. It's that whole scenario that I see. You have this person that's really desperately trying to get past you. They're in the car. They have to get past you. They have to get past you. You're in the way. You're in the way. They get past you and they speed down the road, and you're plodding along. And then about half an hour later, you pass this person, and you're like, well, what did you accomplish by putting yourself in that position?
Mm-hmm.
You got there, and how much stress, how much tension was you behind that wheel? Like, oh, I need to get past you. And it's the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah.
It's the continuation of that story. That story started from somewhere. It's a fable, but dude, that's one of those ones that the grandmothers told, because that is real. Take your time. Breathe it out. That breath, that's also like we're talking about the emotions. You find yourself holding that breath, and that breath stagnates.
Yeah.
When you're in a tense situation and you're holding your breath, and then you realize that you're not breathing. I used to do that when I was learning how to drive. My instructor would say to me, take a breath. And I'd learn to relax. And then I'll be like, oh yeah, I stopped breathing.
Yeah.
That's not good. But the stagnation of that breath isn't good.
Mm-hmm.
Once we learn to release that breath, that's when we can release that fear,
Yeah.
release that tension, release that emotion. And it helps, dude. Just something as simple. And I always say it's complicatedly simple, or simply complicated.
I like
But
that.
taking it, just the breath alone helps so many situations, just to slow down and say, do I really need to be doing this at this time?
Yeah.
Am I benefiting self?
Yeah.
It's really, really important that we take this time for ourselves now, because some amazing shit is coming.
Yeah.
So this is the point now where we rejuvenate in any way we can. If we've got the energy to play, we play. If we have the energy to curl up with a book or not, or just do whatever feels good is right now.
Right.
So I don't know where that just came from. That was
That's
taking the breath.
that's so perfect. Exactly where, yeah. And when you said the thing about taking your time, I love Lord of the Rings. Like a lot of people, I'm one of the geeks that are really excited that the geeks were right, because all this sci-fi stuff was channeled and now we know it. And um anyway, so Lord of the Rings, Gandalf, the beginning, of the Fellowship of the Ring, and Frodo accuses him of being late. And he said that I'm gonna slaughter this quote, but he said a wizard always arrives when he intends to. And
Mhm.
he was, according to Frodo, he'd been, long overdue. We are basically the wandering wizards of this forest, this world that we're in. is a forest, and some of the trees aren't real.
Hmm.
We use the trees as an example of people, you know,
Hmm.
and this, non-player character NPC concept is becoming more and more obvious to many, and that's kind of fun to see everyone seeming to come in and notice and figure this out. And we are in this place of just, okay, so here we are, and we're Gandalf. We're the wandering wizards. So what does that mean? Well, Gandalf shows up and doesn't even know that he's meant to go somewhere in particular and just goes. And then he happens to be where he's supposed to be at any given moment, you know, just like what we're doing. I mean, Stacey was just in the US a couple of days ago, like I was a Washingtonian. I was living on almost Canada, almost Idaho on the Washington state side. And now all of a sudden I'm over here in Arkansas,
I know,
on a
dude.
bed of crystal. And
Like, did
like,
it happen? I'm always like, did that happen? Did it
yeah,
happen? It was like a blink of an eye. You've been in like four different places in like 2 months. And boop, 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 boop.
that's
And it's
crazy.
like a lifetime's worth of moving about
Yeah.
in such
Yeah.
a short space of time, but you were where you needed to be at the right times, even when you didn't plan to be certain places at
Yeah.
certain times.
Yeah,
You
dude.
were where you meant to be.
I had no idea I was going to the ocean. I went with somebody to go see somebody when I was at the festival, and um, lovely people all around, though I had no idea we were going to the ocean. I mean, I didn't. I didn't. And then it popped up. It says, we're going to NASA. And I was like, what? And where we ended up being, I happened to bring some of the healing water that my daughter and I had started to make with the help of Stacy and Elsa long before in order to heal the land. And it just happened to be exactly how it was. I kept putting this water back down. I'm like, what? I was trying to grab a bottle of water to drink and used, and isn't it cool that it's Ozarka? I think it's
It is
awesome.
cool.
But, I put a bunch of the rose water in bottles like this, and I took one of them. But anyway, so that is an example of, because I kept putting it back down. You're noticing, just allowing yourself to be in the moment you're in and to do whatever feels natural. There have been a handful of times in my life where I've kept putting the something down and found that I won the battle with spirit, basically. I guess it's how it works out because, and then later on I'll be in a situation where that thing could have benefited somebody greatly,
Mhm,
and then there's been times where I've listened and
mhm,
I've actually done, and it's just in the in accordance with the moment that I'm in. And so, I would say that all of the things that we do are in the most divinely planned way, unplanned, like, um, and not with logic at all, but with heart. And we're seeing more and more to allow ourselves to do that. And now that we're okay, so I just want to point this out. I don't know if I said this yet or not, but this is important so remember we talked about that. Yeah, I did sort of elaborate about that corridor of ones and that we're on the other side of this. And what that means is that many of you also will resonate with this. We just went through a rapid healing process, period. Um, a lot of unpleasant stuff came up for a lot of people. There was a lot of um family members passing away. There was a lot of grief and struggles. There was a lot of childhood trauma that came up. There was a lot of anger that people didn't know they had. There was a lot of these types of things. Um, we're noticing that there is a purge happening, a grand exit of some kind, of individuals at this time, and it's in accordance with their choice and what they've wanted to have happen. Um, as individuals complete their clearings and pass in this way, it does seem really cold for me to say this, it feels like, but I'm going to say it anyway, is that as each one of them do part, I'm finding that it's the energy on the planet is more stable And it's just like, because there's some of these frequencies, some of the individuals who are incarnated here or were incarnated here didn't align with the new frequency of the planet. And so it was disharmonious for them, which caused a lot of disruption around them. Um, and that frequency is being resolved when they take their exit, and I'm not talking about someone doing it on purpose or anything like that. That's
Mm-hmm.
just a natural course of things. Why am I bringing that up right now is that we're finding through these moments of, as if any of you can relate and resonate to what I'm talking about right now, as these moments come forward, we're being shown the parts of us that need healing, that need attention. That's all. Attention means I acknowledge you without judgment and I release you. I release you with love. You are no longer in any kind of required dynamic with me. Our partnership no longer has to be. And I'm finding that with emotion, with specific emotion, previously I didn't know was a choice I was making, taking this emotion and keeping it. Um, I have found that the resonance of emotion that's been there a long time feels very committed, very loyal to Mila, to Stacy, to whoever it is. They feel like they're here to help you. And until I give consent in some way that I'm saying you can go, I release you, a lot of times it still sticks around. So, just that's a useful right now, this window, this new moon, this dark moon time is a good window to use for these types of things. Removing agreements. People call it soul contracts. You can call it whatever you want. I've just been guided to call it agreement because in the me of me, I kind of feel like that means I can't get out of it. A contract, for my definition, the way I feel, seems like I can't get out of it. And an agreement is you're gonna send a text to the girls 2 minutes before you're supposed to show up at the pub and say, I'm not coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can do that and no one is going to be mad at you, so you can remove these kind of agreements with other things too. Um, and the time of the victim is gone. The time of the victimizer is gone. The time of the martyr is gone. And what does that mean? That means that we are empowered enough to no longer have to participate as a victim or victim mentality, and so we are being encouraged to remove our consent from those kinds of interactions that do not serve us. So if someone's being an asshole in your energy, and I'm using this word very non-gender, I use a lot of like we have a bromance going on with Stacey and I, and we're both chicks. So I just like clear.
There's no other word for it.
Yeah,
Romance works.
right. As that how I just hijacked my own. I was getting kind of channeled and I hijacked myself by trying to explain it. I did it again. I don't
I
remember what
know.
I was saying,
Trying to
but
help you, but I'm stuck too.
you're stuck.
Yeah, no, I was gonna help you, but I got stuck in it too.
Yeah.
Oh no, dude.
Oh, if someone's being an asshole, that's what I was saying.
Well done.
If someone's being unkind, if someone's doing something that's not okay with you, you can remove your participation. I do
Mhm.
not consent to participate in being manipulated. That's actually one of the most common ones that I said at the beginning. I remove my consent of manipulation with you or anyone else or whatever's going on. And some people get kind of pissed off when they hear you say that because they don't actually see that they're manipulating you.
Mhm.
Like the most common one is an individual demanding an apology.
Mm.
And it's like, you know, I I'm I'm good. Like I don't make anybody happy and I don't make anybody mad. I don't make anybody anything.
Mhm.
I make,
Exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. You can't make anybody do anything. It's the person's, even us, we say that no one can make us sad, no one can make us happy, no one can make us mad.
yeah,
We choose to participate in that. So when you say, I choose to no longer participate, dude, that was an awesome way of putting it out there. And it's empowering. It's time to take our power back. We are powerful fucking human beings. We are in this space and we are so amazing. We
Yeah.
are so amazing. And it's really sad to think that we are in these places of disenchantment. We're so disenchanted, man. We're so full of beauty and magic and fucking power. We are powerful. We really, really are, but powerful in the sense that we can do amazing things for ourselves, which help one another recognize it in them too. So we can all be like this. You know, it's time, man, that everybody understands that we're amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, can you say it again? Because I like that. I will choose not to participate.
I no longer choose to participate in manipulation and
And how
or whatever.
powerful is that
That was
statement,
life.
dude? That statement is so powerful
Mhm.
because it's such a beautiful way of putting that boundary bubble up, and it's done in such a way that is so graceful. You are so graceful, and I love you.
Love you.
Thank you.
So sweet. It
It's awesome.
it can be hard to do, especially if you're around a lot of people who are accustomed to this way. You know, um, that was what I was saying too, is that sometimes it makes them mad because uh, most people, I would say most people actually don't realize that they're violating people or they're trying to violate. That's not even a word either. I'm going to pull that word back.
Hmm.
And that they're being manipulative. They don't realize that that's what they're doing. And um, so when we highlight that that might be what they're doing, an individual might be participating in, yeah, it kind of makes them mad because there's this, oh, and you can feel their wall and then their anger, and it's just like, now it's time for me to walk over here in my happy world. Bye bye.
Hmm.
And what I usually say is, I'm sending you love, and I'm walking, and I go. And like, everybody gets whatever they got to get. And you know what? That's whatever anyone's reaction to me is none of my fucking business. I'm sorry, it's true. Like what you think of me is none of my business. It's really got nothing to do with me at all. And if I'm gauging who I am based on what I think you might think of me, I'm spending all of my time here instead of
Hmm.
here. And
Hmm.
if I'm spending all my time here, I'm not here.
Hmm.
And if I'm not here, I'm pissing all over the moments that I'm missing, that I
Yeah,
get to
dude.
have. I'm not enjoying. I'm not being in joy.
Hmm.
And sometimes being in joy is like ugly crying. And I call it
Hmm.
ugly crying because I'm ugly happy.
Yeah,
I'm
dude.
like I'm just being whatever, snot bubbles and like, just and it's
Letting it
just
all go.
yeah. I mean, like, I can't wear jeans anymore. I've lost so much weight rapidly that like we were at the festival, my pants
Saggy
were,
pants.
what was that?
Saggy pants.
Oh, it's so bad. And like,
And then you put
ah,
rocks in them, so you're literally losing your trousers everywhere.
yeah, I had all these stones. What I had done is I brought all my crystals from that I gathered and I gave them all out to people at the festival, whatever it was called. So I had all these, and I don't wear belts. If I wasn't a female and the chest probably wasn't in the way, I'd wear suspenders, but that doesn't work out so great. Anyway, so now I'm walking around in tights all the time. Like
I bet that just makes things so much easier, dude.
and they have pockets, these ones. These have pockets on the side.
That's awesome. Yeah.
But
Make
why am
life
I
easier. I don't know. We did it
oh,
again.
I know. It's because there was a thing in my head that there was something sloppy or something about somebody who they didn't start their day if they're not wearing jeans and they're not, like and I didn't put that judgment on anyone outside of myself. That was all here. And
Hmm.
so it took a while for me to be like, you know what? I'm wearing tights because they fit me,
Yeah,
and they stay
dude.
on my body.
Yeah, dude. Awesome. Awesome. And that's the thing, isn't it? Rewriting this thing in our own perception of stuff. Like when we say they, we actually don't mean they because
Right.
they're imaginary they. You're not actually saying it about anybody. They is your own perception of what
Right.
you think. So that they, and I always use that one of you're pointing out there, you're actually pointing at yourself. There is no they, it's you. It's your perception of what's going on. And I loved how you used that whole thing that if there's something happening and basically, yeah, you did it in just such a way, but you're missing out on so much if you're too bothered about what other people are thinking about you.
Yeah.
You know, you're getting lost in the beauty and the wonder of all these great things that are happening.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to add, you can generally tell when someone is not in your space, in a great place. And you know, your body is the best barometer, thermometer, whatever there is that can tell when someone is being an arsehole. And like you said, there's not always the person could that's just their personality.
Yeah.
That's just how they are. That's how they've always been. And they might not generally know that they're making you feel away, or they're not making you feel away. You're feeling away because of their actions.
Yeah.
So until that person is made aware, maybe no one's ever told them before,
Right.
you know, and it's always those things that start the domino effect, you know, because I do recall being told as a child, like the story used to be, she did that, she said this, she did that. And my mum once said to me, like, why is it always someone else? Why is it always someone else doing something? I was like, it's true. And dude, as a little person, I took that on board and I realized that it was my shit too. You know, sometimes I'm the one doing something. So then I was so happy to come back and say, I did this, I did that. It was me, I did it, it was all me. But it's so definitely true. And these are just the small things to be recognized. And another tool, dude. You've just given another tool for the toolbox.
Yeah. Yeah. And what does it feel like when we're being that, when we're living in that dynamic? Like, I mean, I feel like the more that we don't have to participate in any kind of conflict, the more in balance and harmony we're in, and like I was that individual who needed to, explain, make sure you understand me. You need to understand where I'm coming from. You obviously don't understand. And it would take, and debates, arguments, those types of things. I didn't, typically, I didn't really participate in that much, though I didn't realize I was doing it, and at this point in it, we're realizing that it just none of it matters. Like if someone misunderstands me and are determined to stay in that misunderstanding, I'm not gonna. If someone wants to have more elaboration, I'm open to it. I'll tell
Mm-hmm.
you, and I understand as well. Understand as a word that fits better, but I struggle to say it for some reason that doesn't.
Understand or overstand,
Mhm.
because to understand, you're placing yourself underneath, like you don't under
Right.
you're under it, you're putting yourself under.
I
So
just
to
can't.
say either understand or overstand
I struggle
is
to do
also,
it.
yeah, me too. And I've been practicing. I
There's,
have been.
I feel like there's a different word that I'm waiting for. I think that's why. I've never, I don't know. It's weird.
What
But
about
so,
just stand?
yeah,
To stand.
to get me,
Get
get
me?
me, get
You
me.
get
Do you
me?
get me? You get me? And like, yeah. And like, I don't know. It mattered back then. It mattered. And then I found out, or the more I realized that I don't find harmony there and that it doesn't benefit anyone for me to be more understood. I'm going to use that word
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But and nothing changed except I did not have joy during a certain window of time. And um so comprehend, thank you, Colin. I like that. Comprehend. I'll use that. He says because it means you contain the truth. I like
Mm-hmm.
that. And so what am I saying? I'm finding myself more and more if someone doesn't feel like they comprehend what I'm trying to express, and but they're coming to me with some type of conflict energy, I'll let them think what they want. You know, we want to have a conversation is different. And so what's changed about that is I just actually don't care. Like I when I was in high school, long story, really short though, version is that I was plopped into high school after no school for a lot of years. No one knew who I was. I was some exchange student, they thought. And I always wore black back then. I was very gothic back then. I even had black hair at one point.
Great emo, yeah, dude.
Yeah, yeah, I was all about it. Anyway, and this is in the 90s, so there wasn't people like me in school, so it was really weird. Anyway, the seniors dress in black the first year, the first week is like Pride Week, and
Mhm.
people just assumed I was a senior because I didn't give a flying fuck what anyone thought about me. And like, and I just did me. And I just kind of have always been that person, like just that just gets confused for because I don't care.
Mhm.
Like what I
You
care
don't
about is
follow it. You don't
yeah,
follow the crowd. You don't follow what's going on. You just do your own thing.
yeah. And it's a freeing. It's very freeing because what ended up being the result of that is, well, I thought I was putting off leave me alone vibes to the planet. Everybody, and I went to school in Seattle, which is a big place, and a big school, like thousands and thousands in my graduating class. And everyone knew me. I didn't realize that meant I was popular either. I just, and I knew everybody's names back then. That was before that part of my brain stopped working and remembering people's names. Um, why am I telling this story? Is that this isn't the part that I'm talking about exactly, but this is a very freeing thing.
Mhm.
What's the first the step that most people are working on right now is realizing that we can't make anybody any kind of way, and feeling guilt because someone else's emotion is a weird, you can call it a trap or you can call it a delay, a pit stop. It delays the process. It doesn't help
Mhm.
anybody. And so, comprehending that that aspect, we don't. It gives you hours more in each one of your days as well.
Yeah, dude. It totally does. It totally does because it frees up your mind. It frees up that speak thing that you have to do. You're just blah, blah, blah. And if it does go into a debate, then you're just like, you really did you not understand what I just said?
Right.
Oh, let me put it another way. And then it will just, and it's like, are you deliberately not overstanding, comprehending what I'm saying? And yeah, dude, you could just save a whole heap of your life not doing it anymore. And it's
Mhm.
freeing and it's like take it, I don't know, I just felt like a release of something, like a bit of chainmail or something that you've got attached to you. There's a bit that drops away
Yeah.
because it's something you don't have to do anymore. And it's a yeah, part of the game that you don't want to play. It's like I don't like this game anymore. It's boring.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it. It's not fun. And majority of the time that you do it is not because you're trying to make yourself feel better. That could be a part of it because you want to make sure that the person gets you, that you haven't hurt someone's feelings, but it can make it worse because you might end up saying even more that you don't mean to say. And it's just like, this is just getting worse. It's getting worse. Why am I even bothering? And by that point, you've already sort of gone down such a hole. It's just like, and that could be hours and hours and hours of going through it. So it is very, very freeing. And it really helps other people by not doing it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, it does. It's a triggering thing. It's a knock-on effect when you start putting these things out into practice.
It
Other
releases.
Yeah, but people that are observing, you have observers, and observers pick up on these practices that we use, and they're like, oh, I'll try that one out. And somehow, even when you didn't realize that what you did had a positive effect for someone else, like
Yeah.
you may never know where that went,
Yeah.
but it's just knocked on affected somewhere else and it's happening.
Mhm.
So when we learn how to play with these things, it benefits everyone, you know. It
It
starts with us first, right?
changes everything. It's a ripple. It's
Mm-hmm.
the butterfly effect is more correct.
Mm-hmm.
Like the idea of the butterfly effect is that a butterfly flapping its wings, the the amount of energy it puts out that changes the wind just in a way can affect somebody on the other side of the planet by a series of events. And when I look at free will, what they call free will, in the ethers, it looks like a bunch of really big ass dominoes. Then a whole bunch, like a whole field. Like I've tried to find a visual example of that, but no one's put enough dominoes together to do it.
Yeah, that would be a lot of dominoes.
Is a lot. And it's to go to this edge and this edge and this edge. And really we're in a circle, kind of like behind you. I love your background.
Thank
And
you.
like it's really
I love
pretty.
yours
It
too.
matches mine. It's like this.
Yeah, this whole set, and it was kind of merging together as we were talking. It was kind of coming together with the rings and the circle. The rings are something that's a big thing at the moment, and I can just see all those triangles behind your head, all these triangle things, something to do with the triangles. And what Jasmine drew
I
was phenomenal.
know. She's amazing. I love her. She's really gets gets it.
The downloads, the downloads, she didn't
Oh
realize that
yeah.
they were downloads.
So what is a download, Stacey?
For me, I don't know. No, a download for me is when what I would class as my own human perception has been, I don't want to say hijacked, I would, because they'd find it funny that I use the term hijacked. But it's when my own human perception is moved out the way, and then I have this amazing information that I had no idea I knew, because I always say it wasn't me, it was them. It was them, because it's like I've been sort of like, oh, move to the side a minute, and then they give me information, and then I'm brought back. So a download is when I receive information that I didn't know.
I like this.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would
They
say
helped
that
me with
it's
that as well.
yeah, it's like when you don't have a proof, if you don't have the equation that led to the solution, is kind of how I kind of translate it for myself. So like downloads are like all of a sudden I know something. And it's like I don't know what I know sometimes. I'm just like, this is really cool. And like, oh, I
Mhm.
should probably tell people. And like, and then I'll like often on my way to go tell people, I'm like, I know this could be a very short window of time too. I'm not talking about like over hours or anything like that. And we're like,
A couple of minutes.
yeah, I'm like, oh, I should probably, I'm like still kind of absorbing it, and then it's like, oh, I should probably go tell somebody. And if I don't have my phone ready at the ready and I have to go to it or find a piece of paper, by the time I get to my phone or paper, I realize, oh wow, well, of course that's what it is. That's regular information. Like that's I bet everybody knows this. And then I forget that it's important to tell people. I forget that it's something to tell people. I keep touching my microphone. I keep thinking I'm muting it. And so then I end up not getting around to telling anybody because, well, I'm probably the last one that figured it out. It's kind of what it feels like. And I didn't figure anything out. It was just like, boof. And the reason this sensation like this happens, I was told, I asked, and the spirit answered back that it's because we're using recall, memory, recalling, we're recollecting, we're calling ourselves back to our original understandings. And so this stuff isn't new information. We're not learning anything new at all. We're remembering. And
Mhm.
so, oh, by the way, I did get this back out, so I got to show it again. We are in
Yay.
this. This okay, so I'll use this one first. So I never finished it. One day I should just finish it. So let me
Yeah,
see.
that would be awesome.
So the idea is this is a visual representation. This is not what it looks like, but this is a visual representation that I was guided to do. So it can be explained. So let's call so this energy here is meant to be source. And then from source decided to experience, source God, and separated. And there's no actually loss of mass from source. Source still had, I forgot there's a candle there. That was my hand. It wasn't. I'm fine. And then so there's no loss of mass or completeness from source. And then from this separation, then there was separation again and again and again. So this is the one that I was that makes the most sense to me to like show. So source would be on this example, the side right here of this example, and then this would be echoed, mirrored on both sides. And so this became two, and then this became two again, and then it's up and on and on and on. It looks like a big circle from this vantage point, but that if you look at it at the side, it looks like a spiral. Why is this important to talk about right now? The breath out was what we were just talking about. When God breathed out, we became. And many of us got all the way down, 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 really far away from where light is. And what we've been doing is we've been merging with higher self. Most people, I would say, don't want to talk about that or don't want to say that happened with them because there's a misunderstanding that makes them be higher up than other people. That's not what it does. Everybody's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a correct assessment, by the way. Nobody's higher vibrational than another person. Nobody's spirituality is
More
better
than
than
anyone
anybody
else.
else. We're
Mm.
all in the same frequency. And some of us have skipped stair A and B. Some of us skip stair X. So we all have like our own stuff, but we're all the same.
Mm-hmm.
So as we move back into these higher selves, we're actually meeting ourselves. So like the people down here are all going, they're connected here, but they're all embodied still. That's the
Mm-hmm.
most bizarre part, is that this example, we've never done this part before. We've never done this. So we're staying in the bodies we're in while we ascend. And now that we're on 5D experience, we're meeting each other who are here, but we're also here, if that makes any sense, because we're still echoing. So, for example, Stacey and others in my life are doing that and going, "You're me." Going, I see myself in you. I
Mm-hmm.
see me. And
Mm-hmm.
this is actually in the Bible too, and I didn't know it was in the Bible until they told me it was the rolling up of the scroll. And then someone's like, "Hey, that's in the Bible." The rolling up of the scroll example, this is source God, this is light. Can you hear me okay from this far away?
Mm-hmm. You're
Yeah, I can.
perfect.
And so this is the light, right? And so when it unrolls, all things, the farther away from the light that it is, the more character you can see. If it's a parchment, not like the paper we use today, but like parchment where there's character and detail and stuff, you can't see that detail when it's closest to the light source. This all
Mm-hmm.
looks like white. The farther away you go, the more that God can see self and experience. Now what's happening is we're rolling back up. We're rolling up
Mm-hmm.
of the scroll. And with that, there's alarm because a lot of us have this innate or whatever survival thing that has something to do with fear and this unknown, when actually what's happening is really kick-ass, is
Mm-hmm.
really awesome. And we're returning more and more to our completeness. I like the example Spirit gave me one time. I was trying to explain it to somebody that wasn't comprehending it. And then it was like, this is my favorite example now. There was a whole bunch of pieces of Play-Doh, like clump, 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 clump. And you get one and you squish it to the next one. And you squish it. And each as you're doing that, you're becoming all of the different frequencies. You become all of the colors
Mm-hmm.
because we're all like, oh, am I a blue ray? Am I a violet ray? And we are those things. And guess what, though? We're all the rays. And this
Mm-hmm.
completeness, the balance of all rays is white.
Yes.
And so that's why we're returning to this place while we're in the pink frequency, while all of the things are gold and white, this place. And this is why we're getting this almost jarring feeling inside. It's like it almost felt like an earthquake happened inside your body.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
You're getting it too.
Yeah, dude. And
Yeah.
several times there's like sporadically happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa.
That's what that is. That's it. Because it's like bubbles. When two bubbles come together, at first they're like in a partnership, and then there's this quake, bloop. But
Oh,
they
they
don't look
blob
very happy when they
together.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Bloop. That's that
Yeah.
quake. Bloop.
That's a really good. Yeah, I like to have that visual when it happens next time because it can feel kind of unnerving
Yeah.
when your body starts doing shit that you're like, again, what is this one now? What's going on?
Right.
But yeah, it makes sense to say that we're at a pinnacle now. we've never been embodied while we're experiencing this at the same time. And that does make so much sense.
Yeah.
I was saying to you that I don't know what's going on. I don't know this. This feels really different.
Hmm.
And it's really, really important as well to note, like what you said, it's really, really important that no one is more anything than anyone else.
Yeah.
There was a stage where I had no fucking clue what the hell was going on. I've just been really, really lucky that, I stopped to listen.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no one outside of me that is going to fix whatever's going on. Like, whatever I'm going through right now, there's no one that can fix it for me. I can take advice. I can look for guidance. But if I want anything to change or get better, I have to do it for myself.
Right.
So yeah, I didn't have a clue
Yeah.
what I was doing or how I was going to get through this. It was just yeah, taking time to understand. Yeah, but it's really, really important to know that we are all the same
Right.
and no one's more advanced than anyone else. We're all trying to do this together. And once we realize that we are one, that's really difficult. That's a difficult concept, especially when you first come into this. You're like, well, no, I'm me and you're you. How is that possible that we're the same person?
Right.
Because we're just energy, frequency, and vibration, borrowing a skin suit. We are all the same. It's the same. And anything that you see in others is what you have in yourself. So that's why it's good to be compassionate with however everyone's going through this. We're all doing it at different phases.
Hmm.
So yeah, that was a good point to pull out.
We're very real. It's in a very real way connected energetically. It's so crazy. I found this to be true too, is that every hair on our body, and some people have just microscopic hairs, and this is not a thing about who's more hairy than another person. The hair fibers, hair follicles of your body, um, are all, you could probably double those and double them again, and that'd be more correct. But let's just use this example is that each one of them is connected to another person or another way that's connected sometimes through others, as well. That it very much looks like we're in this like entangled web, but it's not entangled at all because it's light. And this is like, it looks kind of like if lightning was solid to bend and to change. That's kind of what it looks like. I'm finding it to be golden white or white pink more often than anything else. And I've been seeing it a lot more over the past year and a half. Every few months, I look at it again or I realize again that it's more than before. And then all of a sudden, um, right before I came to this one, I found this story of this place that I've moved to. Um, and I can't remember how to say the name, but this
Mantaka, wasn't it?
Manataka, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's for some reason I'm not that's a word that I'm gonna struggle with, but there's this crystal cave and all this whole thing about this rainbow woman and all this stuff that I already understood about the conclusion of the chapter that the Hopi, the Lakota, the Navajo, all these different tribal regions that I was raised to be understanding of this whole story of the Rainbow Tribe, the Rainbow Warriors. And it turns out I'm here. I'm actually here. And I had no idea that this is the place that they were talking. I didn't know. In fact, I forgot that part of the story until I came here and I woke with that name and I couldn't say it. There's something, I don't know why I can't say it. There's something about this word. This happens to me sometimes.
Are we talking about the same that word,
Yes.
Manataka? It's
Yes.
Manataka now. But what it goes, like visually you can't see it and then you can't bring it in.
It doesn't. It's like I don't feel like I'm saying the word that belongs there, which is
Mm-hmm.
likely correct in some way too. Um, then, so that happened. Oh, and the conclusion of this is the Rainbow Woman. Uh, at the when the Grand Awakening is occurring, the Rainbow Woman will show the people the crystal cave. And in the crystal cave, there's code and understanding left by the star people to teach them how to communicate with the star people in all dimensional frequencies again. Like
Wow.
this is the and the locals know this story. There are the elders who are the watchers of this place still. This has not
Wow.
stopped. And then I kept and on top of that, I'm noticing this energy. It looks like cobweb or cotton candy, cobwebby around everybody and everything. And when you move, it bends. You know, it's like the example that they try to pretend that that's what space looks like and all that, how they do that bendy stuff.
Mhm.
And I supposedly math proves that, but is that then all of a sudden the other end of the story that of this part of the story is the Spider Woman. The Spider Woman is the Rainbow Woman.
What?
Like somehow they're connected or they're the same. I don't know. The Spider Woman, she brings the webs. She brings what I'm talking about. She brings the energy.
Dude, that's crazy. And you ended up, sorry, ready? You
Please.
ended up there. Do you remember you were in the spider web? You
Yeah.
came out
Oh
of the
my gosh.
spider
Oh my gosh, I was.
fucking spider web woman.
Holy crap.
You were in the spider web. You were in the center of the spider web
And Houston.
in Houston.
Dude, that was crazy when
And
I
you've only
realized.
just told me about the spider web woman. Like I didn't know about that. And as soon as you said it, I was like, you were in the middle of the spider web. Whoa,
Yeah. The Weaver
dude.
Woman is another word for her.
Yeah, and I heard Dreamweaver then. As
I
in like
the
the
song,
the
I heard it too. Dream Weaver.
yeah, but the dream catchers.
Mm,
That's like a spider web.
yeah, yeah. She does weave.
Wow.
She weaves the lie of many colors.
Wow.
That was not a quote. That's just what I just got just now. She weaves the light of many colors, which is the many rays that we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
When we embody a ray, that doesn't mean that that's your frequency that you're remaining in. That's the
You're
frequency
all
you're using right then.
mm-hmm.
It's not like looking up what your astrology sign is, you
Mm-hmm.
know? Same is true for aura. You will notice that people's aura colors shift regularly, change
Mm-hmm.
often. You can tell when someone's excited, you can tell when someone's in distress and joy, and you can tell where they are in their life's mission based on the color of their aura.
Mm-hmm.
Mila, you are in the middle of the spider web now too. I know, dude. Right, Sarah? Look.
In the middle of the spider web.
Yeah. And this
Wow.
is the time
Yeah.
right now. So what are we going to look forward to? So right now, this is the most impactful time to plant these seeds,
Mm-hmm.
Stacey.
Mm-hmm.
So the guidance for clearing this slate, clearing this energy, and renewing, making all things anew once again to start this next chapter. What is the best guidance for the steps forward from here that you could think of to say?
Well, like you just said, we're planting the seeds. I think our best intentions going forward, and like I said before, it can be a literal seed, it could be a crystal, it could be just your seed of intention. But by laying those down either into the earth, on the earth, or with your, I don't know, your astral earth, laying those seeds out there with the the best of intentions for what you want to see come forward. Because we all want something good for ourselves, but in general, I think we all want good for the all.
Yeah,
We want to move forward and we want to see. I know for myself personally, I want to see how beautiful this world can be.
yeah,
I really want to see what Gaia really has to offer, and the only way we're going to truly see that is by finally stop. And I'm not saying, the whole imaginary we or whatever, I'm just using words, but beautiful sister Willow Rose brought
yes,
this out the other day. Um, when Gaia stops having to go through all the shit that she's been put through, and we are able to obtain some stability and balance with, as corny as it sounds, dude, it's not, it's the peace, the love, the gratitude, all the good things that we really want to see, we have to be them first.
Yeah.
So our intention, my intention every day is to be a better me, be a better me with my understanding of what gratitude is, being in a better understanding of what compassion is, being in a better understanding of how I can bring more beauty to the world.
Yeah.
And by doing that, I'm setting my intention that I want to see how beautiful this world can be. I've got grand hopes for what we can do if we do. We've done so much already,
Yeah.
just these small few years that I've known you, that I've managed to see how things have beautified already, just by these amazing connections that have been made. And also just putting it out there, I've got children and I would really want them to see a world that is full of beauty. I want them to be able to exist in a world where life is thriving, and they get to see life from the best of perspectives. And I don't think that things are going to get worse
Mm.
at all. All those other stories about whatever, I'm not going to bring any of those into the conversation. I just know that why am I hearing like a cartoon or something? That is it Dory or Nemo? Keep pushing forward or keep moving
Just
forward.
keep swimming, just keep swimming.
No,
That's
oh no,
Dory.
yeah, no, just the was it all when they're all swimming down, when they're bringing the net down to release. You remember when they get trapped in the net
Yeah, vaguely.
and
What is-
Nemo's telling everyone to swim
Oh,
down, so everyone starts to swim down, and then by doing that, they release the ship. They've got the net is attached to the ship,
yeah.
and by swimming down, they drag the thing down, and what it does, it breaks it and releases the net. So it's like everyone's swimming together. We're all swimming in the same direction. We're all pushing down. We're all moving in the same direction. And if we can continue to do that in a way with the most beautiful intentions, I think I just waffled for a really long time. But guys, if you can set your intentions, put your seeds out there, that could be really miscommunicated. But yeah, go forward and seed the planet with your best of intentions and the most beautiful ideas for what we can do,
Yeah.
because it's all manifestary, whatever you can imagine, you can manifest. And it's the best time now to bring those beautiful manifestary visualizations and stuff. It's time, we can do it.
Hmm.
We can.
And we
So
are.
yeah, we are.
We can and we are. And that's the most beautiful part about where we are right now is that we're already here. There is no more to do when it comes to getting to some type of next step. There's not a list, there's not a laundry list of things to accomplish. It's just being in whatever moment that you're in. I love that you said that, using the example of you can plant something very real, you know, planting a stone in the ground next to your favorite tree, or, you know, like just using any kind of intention I find, um, for any type of ceremony, the more steps, the better,
Mm-hmm.
because of what you had said too, that the intention every time. So let's say I'm using 9 candles. Why would you use 9 candles? Well, every time I'm lighting another one of those 9 candles, it's me setting that intention of another time, another
Mm-hmm.
time, another time. Like often, usually I'll have like a sacred bath. And what's that mean? It's a bath where I'm just in the moment,
Mm-hmm.
and like maybe I'm adding a mineral I don't tend to use, or an oil or something like that. Maybe I'm doing the same thing just with more intention.
Mm-hmm.
Often people go into this bathroom world and they are thinking about what they're going to do next or something like that. And So I find it's a constant practice. Okay, now I'm putting soap on the loofah, or whatever, and just
And
being
I'm
in the
going to
moment that I'm
cleanse
in.
my body, and this is going to cleanse the day thus
Yes.
far. So
Thank you,
once this is
water.
off my body, yes, thank you. I release whatever was on me. And yeah, like you said, you visualize the whole ritual of the bath rather than just running the bath, getting in it. It can be used as a practice.
Yeah. The
Hmm.
things you're putting on, they could be the same jeans you wear every single day, and it's while we're doing that intention. So it's all the steps of our day,
Hmm.
every moment of our day. We decide what our day is going to be like based on what we choose to do as well. There is that micro moment when you first wake up that is just how you feel when you wake up.
Hmm.
However, then what are you going to do about that? Do you like what it feels like right now, or you want to do something more? And setting
Exactly.
the intention, I'm going to be happy. I'm going
Hmm.
to have a joyful experience. And it doesn't mean I'm forcing myself away from feeling any kind of way. This is what I'm choosing to do right now.
Hmm.
And so I'm doing all these steps. We are, for where I live, it's 3:37 p.m., so the new moon is here, but it's not here, and so I'm still in the series of steps that I'm taking for my day,
Hmm.
and leading
And for
into
me,
this.
it's coming to the end. So I've
Mhm.
done my practices for the day. And like you said, it was the intentions, it's the candles that I lit in succession throughout the day. It's what I did with my sage.
Yeah.
It's how I used my sage and it's what I put on. I'm wearing something that I wouldn't usually wear.
Yeah.
It was all the intention of how I wanted my day to go and how I wanted to feel in this present moment. I knew today was a special day.
Yeah.
I did know. And how I honored that was I honored myself with the ritual bath, with the Epsom salts, you know. Yeah, dude. So it has been amazing to share this one day with you and,
Yes. You too.
have Thor's day. And what else did I? Thor, as in Thor, as in thawing, like the thawing
Oh,
of the snow.
oh,
So 444, I was hearing Thor, Thor, Thor. So when you're coming out of hibernation, the snow and the frost is going to thaw. So four with thawing. So
oh
yeah, give
my
me give
gosh.
me a day. There'll be more.
This is the downloads I've been getting forever. It's Aslan. Do you know
Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe.
Narnia? Yeah,
Uh-huh.
thank you.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Um, and the speaking your truth, being authentic, speaking your truth. Sometimes speaking is singing,
Uh-huh.
speaking it thaws hundreds of winters and all of this
Mm.
ice and stuff. And it's the symbol of Aslan. And Aslan is the example of what you would call Christ consciousness. There's 66 people here. And that
Wow.
this whole Aslan, and that we're doing it now by speaking out who you are. You don't have to we're not at, I don't find go out and look for people who are in conflict with where I resonate from. I'm speaking at first it was on YouTube on lives. Guardian of Orion, my brother. By the way, he did an awesome meditation earlier. If y'all want to go check him out at
Yeah,
Jay
that would be
Zoltan
cool.
on YouTube here. But he, and then I was typing things here and then getting to know people. And then we were able to speak our truth more when we started doing Zoom meetings. And then all of a sudden I'm doing a YouTube channel and we're more and more coming together, like you said. And oh, I loved the comment that some Mia had said. She said, we're walking each other home when you had
Oh,
said that. And I didn't get a chance. I didn't want to interrupt you.
oh, that
It
is
was so
beautiful.
beautiful.
Oh,
And
that's really
there was one
touching.
more comment too. Uh, Jana said, this is really amazing. She said, when my husband was at the moment close to transitioning, I saw every follicle of hair on his body light up as millions and millions of light particles.
Wow.
This is how I see it all the time.
Wow.
I'm so happy that you saw that. That's so
That's beautiful.
beautiful.
That gave me goosebumps. That was
Goosebumps.
that is gorgeous.
We are all this way. We are all connected in this way. And in this way, where there's a sharing. What are you sharing out? What are you
Hmm.
sharing out? I choose to share my authenticity, and sometimes that might not be in joy, but I'm not getting it on anybody either. I'm just
Hmm.
being. What
Hmm.
are we meant to do? To be.
Hmm.
And You know, playing is also reading. Playing is also playing with the calculator for some people. Playing can be staying in bed all day. You know, that's play too. You know, like there's is whatever it is that we're doing, if we can do it in a place of play, then it is done in its highest resonance
Hmm.
and it has the most impact. So
All
whatever it is
good
that you do
things.
today to celebrate today, try to do
Yes.
that in a place of play.
Yeah, dude. And it brings joy. When
Yeah.
you're in that mode and you know you're doing something that is playful, that's when you find your happy place. You
Happy
find that little,
play.
yeah, it is, man. I hope you all find your happy place today. I really do.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been beautiful, man. Thank you. I love you.
I love you. And thank you all for joining us. I love you so much, Stacey. Thank you for
Thank you.
coming
I love you too.
and
Thanks, love.
honoring me on this special, wonderful day. There's a
Thank
lot
you.
of cool things that are going to be are going to continue to be coming through. And so allowing ourselves to be in this place of accepting of the energies that are coming in, meaning receiving the gifts. Um, you are worth it. You do deserve the gold. And the gold is coming down in for you and being ignited within you that's already there. And I mean, I'm just so honored and love all of you. I'm honored to be on this journey with you. Thank you for joining today. And um, I will see you all. Oh, tomorrow, Elsa's doing her conference.
Whoa, is it tomorrow
Portal
already?
to Ascension. She's
Whoa,
tomorrow. So it starts tomorrow. She's speaking tomorrow. So it's going to be cool. I'm going to
that's
tune in
gonna
for
be
that.
awesome. Yeah, dude. Thank you so much for having me. I love you.
Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Bye.